Hey everyone, and welcome back to my neck of the woods. See, I'm trying to be punny. I'm working on it. Today I want to talk about the 2025 Lee Whannell Wolfman movie. Here's the background for my big head takes over everything else. And I'm not going to go into spoiler territory. I'm not going to give a bit of description of the movie. What I want to focus on is why everybody has such a negative take on this movie when I personally love the fuck out of it. Let me kind of give a quick, somewhat synopsis, and then we'll get into the details and everything that goes around. And the movie opens with a young Blake, who is our main character, who is woken up by his father because they're going on a hunting trip. His father is ex-Marine, so he's got a very tidy schedule and expects things done a certain way, which is expected of people who are spent any time in the military, and they get used to that ritual, that schedule, that just everything on time, done in a certain manner, a certain way. And during the hunting trip, Blake encounters something he can't explain, and come to find out that Blake's father has a secret. Not a spoil. This is not spoilers. I'm not giving anything away. I will not spoil anything in case you want to go see the movie after this, which I encourage you to do. I am simply, setting up the premise. This movie deals a lot with learned and passed down family trauma. It's handled really well, and we see that. And with the older Blake, who was being played by Christopher Abbott, is now living in New York City. He has a wife and a daughter. The daughter's name is Matilda, or Ginger, and she's played by Matilda Firth. The wife's name is Charlotte. She's played by Julia Garner, who you might recognize from the upcoming movie Weapons with Josh Brolin. And Blake and Charlotte's relationship, it's straining because Blake has quit his former job to take care of Ginger full time, while Charlotte focuses on her career as she's a reporter or a writer of some sort. I'm not sure, but Blake has been estranged from his father for many, many years, but recently just found that his father has passed away. So, in an attempt to reconnect with Charlotte, he packs up the family, heads back to his home, and just middle of nowhere, essentially, where he grew up. And there they encounter the same creature that Blake did in his youth. That's all I'm going to give for this. Here's where the movie differs that so many people didn't like, that I thought was just fantastic. And that is, in this movie, the werewolf is not treated as a curse. It is treated as a disease, a virus, something science could tackle, which is fascinating to me because of how quickly it spreads and what it does to the person. Throughout the movie, once Blake is bit and starts to become the creature, you see things from his point of view. You can see the point of view of the creature, the heat signatures, how he views the world, how he hears things. You see how he is losing his ability to talk, simply communicate with Charlotte and Ginger. He loses more and more of his humanity the more and more the virus takes over. It is definitely very Cronenberg inspired, which is great in my opinion. I think Lee Whannell did fantastic in his body horror homage to the Wolfman. I loved his little Easter egg to Saw, the very first Saw movie he did. There's an Easter egg to that in there. I loved that the beginning of the movie, there's I can't really think of what it's called, but the screen pops up and you start to read like a back story for the virus itself, and they tie it into Native or Indigenous American folklore, which I thought was just really, really smart. I don't see enough movies trying to do that, trying to tie in, things, the horror, the myths, whatever, to the legends of, indigenous Americans, the legends of the Appalachian Mountains, Hona Appalachia, things like that. You don't see that enough, and I hope to see that more in the future. My one complaint that I have with this movie is that the Wolfman, the werewolf, what do you want to tag him as, did not have enough hair. For something that's called a Wolfman, he was lacking in the body hair. But that's really and truly is my only complaint. The movie, like I said, deals with trying to overcome childhood trauma, trying to be a better parent than your parents were, and trying to connect in a world now where we're so disconnected by information and internet and everything like that. And the movie has more substance than you really realize that it does, which was a refreshing, just breath of fresh air. I thought the effects were really well done. The practical effects are amazing. Like I said, the scene switching from Blake's point of view as he's mutating back to Charlotte or Ginger's point of view, seeing how the virus is affecting Blake and everything he's doing. I thought this was a smart, very well crafted movie. I encourage so many of you, if you see my review, if I've managed to pique your interest, go watch this movie. I guarantee you'll at least have a good time with it. You might not enjoy it as much as I did, but you might have fun with it. Also, I'm trying to build up everything here that I'm doing here on my different socials. So if you like what you're seeing now, do me a favor, give me a follow, click the like button, leave a comment if you'd like to, and then share this with your friends. Help me get my stuff out there. I deeply appreciate it. Thank you for your time, and be punk rock.